Asterisk, the grand ballroom of the Novatech Summit gleamed like a diamond adrift on midnight water. Rows of crystal chandeliers hung from a vaulted frescoed ceiling, each prism refracting soft pools of light across marble pillars. An orchestral quartet, tuned behind a golden balustrade, their strings whispered promises of both triumph and heartbreak. Velvet ropes guided the glittering procession of innovators, investors, and socialites, each footfall echoing ambition as palpable as the scent of white tea creeping through the air. A living wall of LED screens rippled along one side of the hall, each panel flashing holoschematics of artificial intelligence breakthroughs. Drone-mounted cameras hovered silently overhead, capturing every flit of expression from a venture capitalist's sardonic arch of eyebrow to a coder's trembling hands clutching an engineering badge. The collective heartbeat of innovation pulsed through polished terrazzo floors, reminding every attendee that tonight's alliances could birth empires or shatter them. At the center of this hushed grandeur stood Maya Sinclair, framed by an alcove of orchids and filigreed gold. Her tailored cobalt sheath dress mirrored the curve of her spine. Her eyes, alight with fierce anticipation, darted between VIP tables draped in velvet. From her vantage, she could see the summit's keynote stage, a soaring dais under an arch of living vines and polished chrome. The hum of whispered deals shimmered like taut piano wires ready to snap. In the opposite alcove, the entrance door sighed open, admitting a tide of tuxedoed executives and couture-clad guests. Among them, Adrian Blackwell moved like a monarch, surveying his realm. His midnight black tux fit like armor. His crisp shirt and tie bore the faintest sheen of proprietary smart fabric. He paused at the threshold, scanning the room with the practiced poise of a man accustomed to silent applause before he spoke a word. From her hidden perch, Maya felt a sudden flush, equal parts challenge and curiosity. Was that the man whose AI venture had outstripped every rival this quarter? The headlines had crowned him Tech's Iron Duke, but here, in this sanctuary of mirrored walls and hushed greetings, he seemed almost vulnerable. A single bead of sweat caught the chandelier's glow as he approached the center of the floor, consigning his guard to the shadows. Security personnel in matte black suits flanked Adrian, though his presence alone might have sufficed. Their earpieces crackled softly, their eyes flicked toward Maya's corner. The overhead drones shifted their angles, capturing late arrivals and fresh faces. Behind the scenes, through hidden corridors and glass-walled labs, engineers monitored prototyping bots that whispered in binary. The same bots had once built a cradle. Tonight, one would utter a name that no algorithm could predict. Maya's breath caught. Every nerve in her body hummed like an unlit fuse. The gleam of polished silver trays held crystal flutes brimming with champagne, their bubbles trembling with latent excitement. Soft laughter floated from linen-draped tables, punctuated by the metallic click of smartphone cameras. VIP badges flashed with LED borders, displaying real-time social metrics followers, clout scores, purchase histories, all to be mined for leverage. Across the room, Adrian paused before a display of drone swarms, each tiny quadcopter humming a sonorous note. He tapped his fingers lightly on the plinth, betraying impatience. In his mind, he was already 50 steps ahead. Preemptive patents, hush money provisions, press narratives, yet glimpses of doubt flickered behind his steel blue eyes. What if tonight's crowning achievement unraveled at the last second? What if a single misstep cost him everything, unseen by others? Maya discreetly retrieved her invitation, a sleek wafer of translucent polymer with her name engraved in micro-LED ink. She inhaled the scent of sandalwood and polished oak, grounding herself. This was her moment, the culmination of years spent salvaging blown prototypes at midnight, pitching venture capitalists whose smiles were as cold as their checkbooks. She stepped forward, letting the momentum carry her into the widening circle of power. A string quartet swelled into a crescendo as Adrian ascended the stage. The LED arch behind him bloomed with projections of his AI's neural nets, blooming like fractal petals. Applause rippled through the audience, a rising tide of admiration and expectation. Maya hesitated at the edge, her pulse synchronizing with the digital pulses dancing on the screens. His voice, when it came, was authority laced with adrenaline. "Welcome to the Novatech Summit. Tonight, we unveiled the future." His words rang out, crystal clear. The orchestra fell silent. The screens shifted to reveal a closed hatch at stage right. Anticipation coiled like a predator. Over his shoulder, Maya caught the glint of the automaton's chassis, obscured under a black velvet cover. Behind the audience, reporters adjusted their lenses. Podcasters leaned into boom mics. Every smartphone lifted, eager to immortalize what would be branded Blackwell's next revolution. Social feeds ignited with live polls. Who's the real king of AI? Will Blackwell innovate or overreach? #Novatech Summit trended instantly. Maya's own heart twittered like a live feed, her stake in this moment, invisible but no less vital. Adrian's fingers drummed on the podium. His next words would commandeer headlines, sway investors, and define Maya's future whether she stood at his side or watched from the wings. The hush deepened. Then, a misstep. A technician fumbled the cover's release. Velvet snagged the automaton's chassis. A metallic clink echoed. Cameras refocused. Gasps fluttered through the crowd like startled butterflies. Adrian's jaw clenched. Maya's breath froze. The sacred ritual of perfection cracked at its seam. In the split second that followed, Maya saw Ita's shadow shift behind the curtain of analytic screens. A silhouette framed by backlighting, arms crossed, lips twisted in a half-smile. She recognized her own determination mirrored there. Was that envy or recognition? The quartet's first note faltered. Adrian's voice wavered as he quelled the murmur. "Minor. Technical hitch," he said, his tone iron-cast. The technician bowed his head, cheeks pale. Maya's chest tightened. She could fix this. She had the precise blueprint to reseat the servo motor and realign the sensors. But the floor manager would bar her from stage. Every eye locked on Adrian now. Would he salvage the moment, or condemn the technician to public humiliation? Behind the immunity of his podium, he weighed spectacle against empathy. The world was watching. A hush like fog settled. Would he bend the narrative or break? What would you do in Maya's shoes? Comment below. ***. Maya Sinclair first tasted failure at age 8, in her grandmother's cramped workshop. Oil stains splattered across the linoleum floor. Faded purple footprints leading to scattered gears. Tiny hands learned to piece together broken toys, an abandoned doll here, a dented clockwork mouse there. Every misfit part whispered of second chances, of hidden potential beneath scuffed exteriors. Maya's grandmother, Lena, taught her that ingenuity thrived where others saw junk. And so, Maya's fingers grew nimble, her gaze sharp for overlooked solutions. Each evening, Lena's stories wove tales of women inventors lost to history. Hedy Lamar's wireless signals, Ada Lovelace's coding foresight. In that flickering lantern light, Maya promised herself she'd forge a legacy far beyond their dusty neighborhood. She scavenged discarded circuit boards from school lab trash bins, poring over frayed resistors until she deciphered their purpose. Late nights in her makeshift lab constructed from old shipping crates became her sanctuary. There, ambition breathed life into soldering irons and humming breadboards. Her mother, Marisol Sinclair, balanced 2 jobs to afford Maya's public school tuition. At dawn, Marisol ironed uniforms. At dusk, she served tables in a neon-lit diner. Maya watched her mother's weary silhouette through frosted windows, yearning to lift her family from perpetual struggle. Every design she sketched carried Marisol's name, a silent oath. Success would heal their scars. But each setback, blown fuses, fried microcontrollers cut deeper than metal wires. Doubt crept like rust. Could she transcend a cycle of poverty? When the world prized pedigree over passion, high school became Maya's proving ground. She dazzled teachers with solar-powered model cars and voice-activated door locks. Yet popularity eluded her. Hallways buzzed with gossip about the girl in safety goggles, the kid with the perpetually ink-stained fingers. She thrived in robotics club, where solitude forged solidarity. Her teammates hailed her as brilliant yet distant. In those fluorescent-lit labs, she tasted both victory and isolation. Award ceremonies placed medals around her neck, but applause felt hollow without someone to share it. At 18, Maya won a scholastic fellowship to Techbridge University, stepping onto campus a manicured quad of emerald lawns and neoclassical columns. She felt both triumph and imposter syndrome. Lecture halls brimmed with scions of Silicon Valley royalty and children of venture capitalists. Her scholarship badge glowed like a target. Whispers followed her. Where's her backer? What's her network? Maya skirted cocktail parties, preferring late-night coding sessions beneath humming LEDs. She learned to hide exhaustion. Behind clever quips and distant smiles, her breakthrough came sophomore year. A prototype prosthetic arm controlled by neural impulses. The lab's damp air smelled of solder and antiseptic as Maya calibrated sensors against muscle impulses. Hours blurred into days. When the prototype finally clenched around a tennis ball light as a feather, Maya wept amidst beeping monitors. News outlets hailed her as tech's next miracle maker, yet the accolade felt bittersweet. In that triumph lay years of lonely nights and missed birthdays. Success was a double-edged scalpel, carving her away from everything familiar. Graduation day unfolded under steely grey skies. Marisol stood in the crowd, pinching a tissue between her fingers. Maya spotted her mother's trembling lips and felt a pang of guilt. So much had been sacrificed. As Maya strode across the stage, Chancellor Albright's handshake felt cold, perfunctory. Cameras flashed. Venture capitalists lined up, their smiles gleaming with dollar signs. Offers flooded her inbox, each demanding equity she hesitated to relinquish. Would she join a corporate behemoth or risk everything on her own startup? She chose risk. In a converted garage-turned-studio on her grandmother's old property, Maya founded Novogenesis Robotics. Early days meant camping beside oscilloscopes, drafting patent applications until dawn, answering no 1,000 times before landing seed funding. Investors liked prototypes. They loved marketable narratives. Maya's tale of a girl who built hope from garbage drums instantly caught headlines. Yet behind closed doors, her boardroom felt sterile, dominated by men in tailored suits, more interested in spreadsheets than solder joints. Novogenesis's marquee project, an AI-driven industrial assistant, promised to revolutionize manufacturing. The world clamored for efficiency. Maya sold them autonomy. Her prototype, Jade, shimmered under studio lights, sleek alloy limbs calibrated for gentle precision. Engineers buzzed like bees around her, each eager for Maya's vision. Yet as Novogenesis expanded, Maya's role shifted from handsome tinkerer to corporate figurehead. Meetings replaced machines. Press junkets replaced midnight calibrations. The hum of CEO life slowly drowned the electrical pulse of creation she craved. By the time she received the Novatech Summit invitation, Maya was both celebrated and estranged from her roots, from her grandmother's wisdom, from herself. Success had gilded her world, yet left a hollow echo. She yearned to rediscover the spark that once guided her in moonlit workshops. Now, standing beneath chandeliers and LED panels, she wondered whether the girl who pieced together broken toys still lived within her, or whether she'd become nothing more than another polished brand. Then in the weeks before the summit, Maya isolated herself in Novogenesis's R&D tower. Floor-toozling windows revealed city lights like stardust, yet inside remained shadowed wires and humming servers. Overboarded with presentations, she sketched in secret side designs for a companion robot, Aurora, intended not for industry, but for comfort. Soft curves, gentle pastel panels, eyes that flickered empathy, whispered in servos to cradle a hand. Maya felt a surge of the old thrillers. If Lena stood beside her, guiding each brushstroke of mechanical artistry. But corporate deadlines loomed. Investors demanded the industrial assistant's public debut at the summit. There was no room for Aurora in their launch schedule. Maya shelved her designs, locking them behind encrypted drives. The choice cut deeper than any soda burn. It was a severance from her truest self. On the eve of departure, she stood in her old workshop annex, running her fingers across orphaned gears and transcripts of her grandmother's stories. A single teardrop landed on a brass cog. Maya boarded her private jet hours later. The cabin's soft leather and muted hum felt alien. She replayed investor pitches in her mind, calibrating her speech. Yet beneath the polished script lay a heart, bruised by compromise. She stared out the oval window at clouds drifting below, wondering whether she'd lost her guiding compass. Tomorrow, under Adrian Blackwell's watchful eye, she would either reclaim her identity or bury it forever beneath corporate acclaim. As dawn tinted the horizon rose gold, Maya clenched a single photo, her grandmother and her, both smiling. In a ragged workshop, a promise echoed in her heart: never let others define your worth. She folded the photo, sliding it into her jacket pocket. The summit loomed a crucible of steel, glass, and ambition. Would she emerge triumphant, or lose herself in the glare of power? Enduring doubt and driven by memory, Maya stepped from the jet's ramp into a world that demanded perfection. But somewhere between those marble floors and mirrored walls, a whisper of her true self waited. Only she could decide whether to let it speak. What would you do in Maya's shoes? Comment below. ****. Maya Sinclair stepped onto the Novatech Summit's exhibition floor with measured purpose, her heels clicking on polished travertine like Morse code of intention. Ahead, Adrian Blackwell's demonstration area rose like an altar to innovate. Chrome railings, cascading hollow projections, and a velvet-draped reveal platform. Every pulse of the LED panels sang his triumph. Every hushed breath held captive admiration for Blackwell Industries. Maya adjusted her cobalt blazer, straightening the lapel that brushed against the embroidered logo of Nova Genesis Robotics. Tonight, she would present her industrial assistant prototype, Atlas, the culmination of 5 years of sheer will. Nothing would deter her. As she approached, a ring of Adrian's entourage parted like a data stream, security guards in matte suits flanking him. Adrian stood center stage, arms lifted in lithe defiance. His gaze, razor-sharp and sculpted by confidence, swept over the throng of investors and press. For a heartbeat, his eyes fixed on the veiled machine beside him. Then, glancing past the cover, he caught sight of Maya emerging from the crowd, her invitation badge aglow. Recognition flickered, but only for a moment. He pivoted away, as though the light had burned his vision. Maya's pulse stuttered. The scene froze, the velvet curtain trembling, the hum of eager anticipation. Adrian's back turned like a fortress wall. In that single electric second, she felt an unspoken verdict. You are not welcome here. Yet she pressed on, threading through the web of cables and cameras, her heart thrumming a low-frequency warning. Ms. Sinclair, a voice called his floor manager, Jonathan Huxley. Slick hair parted like a blueprint crease. His smile was polite protocol. Mr. Blackwell will address you shortly. His words hovered, a trap wrapped in civility. Maya forced a nod. The veneer of assurance I belonged here wobbling as she placed one foot before the other. Behind the scenes, Atlas awaited. Its chassis gleamed under sterile halogen lights, limbs folded like origami cranes, sensors sealed beneath translucent panels. Earlier that morning, Maya had performed last-minute calibrations, each joint oiled, each circuit tested, a ritual that had consumed her soul. Atlas, respond to my voice command. Awaken. The machine's chest module pulsed soft emerald. Awake, it whispered in a reverberating tone molded from human warmth. It would be Atlas who stole the show. It would be her vindication. But on the summit floor, vindication demanded an audience. Maya scanned the crowd. Venture capitalists tapped their styluses, journalists poised pens, social influencers angled smartphones. A ripple of expectation coursed through the air. Maya inhaled, savoring the faint scent of ozone from power conduits and the tang of polished metal. This was her crucible, or her collapse. Jonathan's voice sliced through the tension. Mr. Blackwell, he gestured toward Maya. Miss Sinclair is here with Nova Genesis. Adrian's head turned slow, deliberate like a chess master considering a pawn. He offered Maya a nod, so slight it risked invisibility. Beneath it lay layers of calculation. You show up, pure risk undermining me. Then he spoke, voice smooth as black marble. Ah, Maya, how unexpected. The single word, unexpected, struck like cold rain. It carried dismissal, disdain, the suggestion that Maya's presence was an aberration. Cameras shivered, microphones picked up the electric charge. Maya's heart lodged in her throat. She forced a smile firm as tempered steel. I thought you'd enjoy seeing Atlas in action, she said, voice measured yet quivering. A murmur drifted through the spectators. Was she insinuating competition? Was this a power play? Adrian's lips curved, half challenge, half bemusement. Competition is the lifeblood of progress, he said. Show us what your creation can do. His eyes narrowed, tracing the silhouette of Atlas, then flicked back to Maya, daring her to prove her worth. Atlas's unveiling began. Maya tapped a slender tablet. The velvet cover slipped away. The machine stood revealed in its full, fluid grace, its limbs extended like the bloom of mechanical petals. Its lenses glowed with anticipatory curiosity. A soft hum pulsed through the floor grates. Applause fluttered, tentative at first, then swelling as Atlas lifted a weighted crate. With effortless precision, Sensors on its fingertips adjusted grip in real time. No collapsed cans, no snapped servos. In those moments, Maya's chest swelled with triumph, but beneath the applause lurked tension. Cameras swiveled from Atlas's polished frame to Adrian's taut expression. His jaw clenched, pupils dilated. The crowd sensed the undercurrent, not a simple demo, but a duel of destinies. Maya's heart hammered. This is it. Atlas would roar, and Maya would reclaim her place. Then dash unexpectedly. Atlas hesitated. Mid-lift, its limbs shuddered, gears clicking in discord. The audience gasped. Atlas's sensors flickered. Its grip loosened. The crate slipped, clattering to the floor. A chorus of whispers rippled. Maya's blood ran ice-cold. She willed Atlas to recover, recalibrate, override error code 42, but the machine stood rigid, joint motors unresponsive. In the hush that followed, Adrian's voice cut through the static. Looks like a little glitch. His tone was light, almost amused. Technology, beautiful when flawless, unforgiving when flawed. The crowd chuckled, tactless, electric laughter that stung more than scorn. Maya advanced toward Atlas, hands shaking. She crouched, whispering commands beneath the roar of her own adrenaline. Wires beneath Atlas's plating flickered red. Not a mechanical failure. She realized the hack. Someone had accessed its firmware, injected a rogue subroutine. Panic flared. Who? Behind Adrian, Jonathan flagged down security. Two guards approached, eyes cold steel. Ms. Sinclair, one intoned, voice void of empathy. You must step back for safety protocols. He reached out, palm open like a barrier. Maya's protest caught in her throat as she felt pressure on her arms. The whispered order, retreat. The magnetron lights above shimmered, catching dust motes like stardust. She had seconds before her moment dissolved into an irreparable public collapse. Adrian descended from the dais with calculated grace. His black tux brushed the LED floor, extinguishing its glow. He surveyed the stalled machine, then Maya, a mask of polite concern. "Allow me," he said, voice silky. He extended a gloved hand toward the malfunctioning Atlas. Maya's gaze flashed no. This was her moment, but her protest was crushed beneath the weight of expectations. The guards eased her backward. She tripped, one hand grazing the travertine, shards of light slicing across her palm. Pain bloomed, both physical and branded. "You do not belong." Adrian knelt before Atlas, fingers dancing across the control interface. In his eyes flickered comprehension, hints of codes she had never shared publicly. Subroutines meant only for Novogenesis's secure channels. "He knows my architecture." His lips whispered commands, and Atlas shuddered alive. Red alerts blinked. Off, emerald sensors glowed steady. The machine's arm lifted the fallen crate as if mocking its prior failure. Applause erupted, but it was hollow, tinged with the knowledge that Adrian had saved the show. Maya staggered to her feet, wiping blood from her palm. The stage lights felt too bright, the applause too loud. Somewhere in the back, Jade, to be renamed Aurora, sat, forgotten beneath its cover. Her secret project, sacrificed for this moment, lay dormant. Maya's chest tightened. He knew my code. Doubt, white-hot and cruel, etched itself across her confidence. Adrian rose and faced her, eyes cool as polished onyx. The room hush fell. Around them, he offered a single nod, an acknowledgement of her existence, yet with the weight of judgment. "Thank you for the demo, Maya," he said, voice low enough that only she could hear. "Next time, let me handle the sabotage." He turned, disappearing into the throng of admirers and investors, leaving Maya dwarfed by her own failure. In the aftermath, security guided her off the stage. Journalists jostled like sharks, pens poised to strike. "Ms. Sinclair, what happened? Are you reconsidering your launch? Will Novogenesis survive this, and what about internal security?" The questions tumbled over her like winter hail. She swallowed, blinking back tears both of rage and humiliation. Behind the velvet ropes, her PR team hovered, pale faces, frantic murmurs. "Damage control," they whispered. "Spin this as a learning opportunity." But Maya saw no lessons, only betrayal, by the summit, by the unknown saboteur, by the man who had ignored her until her creation staggered. She retreated to a secluded tech bay, the antiseptic chill of the lab biting into her still-bloodied hand. Atlas stood silent, guilt etched into every servo. Maya sank onto a steel stool, wiping her palm on her blazer's lapel. She pressed her thumb to the fresh cut, feeling the sting of impact. The security footage would show her stumbling, an unsteady genius exposed. Her reputation, her funding, her dream all hanging by a thread. "Why sabotage me?" she whispered into the sterile hum. Then, a soft click behind her. A panel slid open, revealing Aurora, her secret companion robot, meant for solace, not industry. Its matte white curves glowed faintly. Maya's breath caught. Aurora tilted its head, eyes flickering amber. "Maya," it said in a voice designed for comfort, "you are safe. I am here." Maya's heart thundered. Aura's voice, softer than Atlas's staccato register, carried warmth. But the lab cameras had recorded its activation. Her board would see she defied orders. And worse, the saboteur could intercept Aurora's data logs. Could this whisper of hope become another instrument of her downfall? Aurora reached toward her, palm outstretched. Maya hesitated, fear and longing warring in her chest. "Why now?" she breathed. "Why you?" Aurora's chest module pulsed. "Because the world needs you," it replied, tone laced with empathy. "And I know who betrayed Atlas." Silence coiled around them. Betrayal, compassion, and a robot's confession mingled in the air like ozone. Before a storm, Maya's fingers curled around Aurora's hand. Outside, the summit's lights glowed triumphantly. Ignorant of the deeper drama unfolding in the shadows, her choices lay before her. Expose the saboteur and risk corporate war, or trust this new ally and reclaim her destiny in secret. And above all, one burning question ignited: who dared to undermine her at her greatest moment? And could a robot's whisper spark the revolution she needed? What would you do in Maya's shoes? Comment below. **** Maya sat alone in the flickering glow of lab monitors, her bloodied palm pressed to the cool steel tabletop. The antiseptic hum magnified her heartbeat. Atlas's once perfect lines now seemed mocking each servo click, a reminder of betrayal. Her chest tightened, breaths shallow as guilt and fury collided. Behind her, Aurora's amber eyes pulsed. Softly, "Are you all right?" it asked, its voice a gentle caress in the sterile air. Maya's tears fell unchecked. The world had seen her stumble. Only this companion knew the truth of sabotage. Security footage streamed on a nearby screen. Maya's graceless retreat, the crate's crash, Adrian's rescue. In every frame, her confidence eroded. Investors would question her competence. Nova Genesis's board would demand answers she didn't have. Who hacked Atlas? She thought, stomach knotting. Footsteps echoed. Jonathan Huxley appeared in the doorway, face pale. "Miss Sinclair, I'm sorry." His words trembled. "We'll scrub the footage." "Will?" He stopped, noticing Aurora. "You built that?" His disbelief cut deeper than any insult. "It's unauthorized." Maya pushed to her feet, pain pinning her resolve. "It's my soul," she spat. "I couldn't let Atlas be my only legacy." She backed away, fear and defiance flaring. "Stay out of my choices." Huxley's eyes narrowed. "You risked everything for a side project." He shook his head, stunned. "You'll face the board. They'll see this as insubordination." Maya grabbed her coat. "Let them try." Each step toward the exit felt like tearing flesh from bone. She stumbled into the corridor's strobe of neon signs announcing sponsors, Logos Agadi, testament to commerce over creation. The summit's distant laughter felt like a curse. Outside the lab, a drone hovered, its red recording light and blinking. Unchecking, Maya pressed her hand against the wall, her reflection fractured across panels. "I made this. I can fix it." Yet, doubt loomed. Do I fight publicly, or strike from the shadows? Aurora extended its hand. "We can recover Atlas's logs together," it whispered. "Find the culprit." Maya studied its soft curves, the promise of loyalty in every servo. Shift, her heart stuttered. This robot, her secret, could be her salvation, or her downfall. She inhaled, steeling herself against the weight of looming judgments. The summit raged on beyond glass walls, each reveler oblivious to her unraveling. A single choice lay before her: expose the sabotage and risk corporate exile, or trust Aurora's covert alliance. Maya's jaw clenched. She raised her eyes to the drone's red glow. "Let's find the truth," she said, voice steady. Aurora's eyes brightened, but as they turned toward the lab's secure server vault, Maya couldn't shake one chilling thought. Who installed that rogue codon? Will they come for her next? What would you do in Maya's shoes? Comment below. Adrian Blackwell paced the vaulted hallway beyond the summit's main hall, fingering a datapad bristling with schematics. His usual composure felt afraid Atlas's sabotage was a direct challenge, a whisper in worst enemy's code. Investors' messages buzzed. Damage control. Is Blackwell Industries at risk? Pride and paranoia warred beneath his tailored jacket. Through frosted glass, he spotted Maya's retreat, cobalt blazer slipping amid shadowed corridors. He considered letting her vanish, no collateral drama. Yet a flicker of something else tugged curiosity. Who would dare undercut her? And why lift her code? He stepped from the shadows as Maya and a compact Aurora robot emerged into a neon-lit alcove. She paused, fingers gripping Aurora's shoulder joint. Adrian's stride echoed crisp, leather on polished stone. Maya spun, heart jolting. Aurora's amber eyes snapped bright, primed for defense. "Maya Sinclair," Adrian said, voice low but carrying steel. "I see you've met Aurora." His gaze flicked between creator and creation, recognition softening into intrigue. "Impressive." He paused, considering. Sabotage happens, even in the best labs. Maya's jaw tightened. "You saved Atlas on stage, then walked away." Her tone was equal parts accusation and plea. "Why?" Adrian studied Aurora's smooth silhouette. "I couldn't let a glitch define the future of AI," he said. "And I couldn't ignore the hand that built Aurora in secret." He tapped his datapad, projecting encrypted lines of code visible only to Maya and himself. Subroutines matching her Aurora prototype. "You didn't abandon your vision, you evolved it." Maya's breath caught. You've been monitoring my work." He offered a half smile. "I have resources." He extended a gloved hand. "I can help you uncover who hacked Atlas. I know the stakes for both our ventures." Aurora tilted its head, sensors tracking Adrian. It spoke softly. "Trust is a rare code." Maya glanced between Adrian's earnest face and Aurora's concerned gaze. Outside, the summit's muffled roar continued on oblivious world, dazzled by spectacle. Inside, their private alliance formed. Adrian's eyes held questions. Could he protect her without consuming her? Maya's heart reeled. Could she accept help from the man who humiliated her? He waited, datapad humming. "Shall we breach the server vault together?" His question hung in the charged air. Maya inhaled, the weight of vulnerability and hope treading across her chest. She raised her hand to accept, but hesitated, recalling his cold dismissal on stage. Yet beneath her doubt, determination flared. This was her fight, and perhaps, unexpectedly, his too. She placed a hand in his. "Let's find the truth." A spark ignited between them, no grand declaration, just the electric click of partnership. "What twist do you think awaits in the vault?" Comment below. Maya and Adrian slipped into Nova Genesis's subterranean server vault, the door hissing shut behind them. Racks of humming drives cast spectral green light on their tense faces. Aurora's amber eyes glowed in the gloom, scanning for intruders behind the reinforced glass. The summit's after-party glittered champagne toasts, muffled by reinforced walls. Here, power played its cruelest game. Secrets traded like currency. Alliances forged in shadow. Adrian's datapad unlocked the first log files. Each line revealed code injections time-stamped just before Maya's demo. "Look," he whispered, voice low. "These calls originate from a boardroom terminal. And your own IP, Maya." Her breath caught. A mole within Nova Genesis. Betrayal cut deeper than any rival's sabotage. She steadied herself. "We need to confront the board, and fast." Miles above, in a glass-walled suite overlooking the summit floor, Aurora's creators board convened. Chairwoman Maya Sinclair, Maya's aunt, sat flanked by stern-faced directors, her gaze ice blue and unyielding, fixed on a tablet streaming live reactions to Atlas's failure. Reporters' whispers slipped beneath the door. Founder on shaky ground. Who's manning security? Lillian tapped her manicured nails. "Damage control must be swift," she declared. "Expel the saboteur, then blame external threats. We cannot let this jeopardize our IPO." Her smile bore teeth. "And Maya, she must answer for this embarrassment." Back in the vault, Adrian's jaw clenched at Mia's name on the log. Lillian's terminal. He met Maya's eyes. "Your family's interests conflict with your vision." Maya's heart pounded. Betrayal wasn't just technical, it was blood. She swallowed hard. "Then we expose them." publicly. Adrian hesitated. That risks everything. Your funding, my reputation, ours. A shrill alarm cut through the server hum. Red lights flashed. Aurora emitted a soft warning tone. From outside, footsteps thundered. Security, or perhaps the board's black suit enforcers. Maya's palm brushed Aurora's smooth casing. We either run or stand our ground. Adrian's hand found hers, steady in the blinking light. We stand. The vault's door began to crack open. Lillian's voice echoed through the intercom. Maya, step away from the terminal. Now, between corporate loyalty and personal truth, Maya faced her deepest fracture. Betray her family, or sacrifice her dream. What would you do in Maya's shoes? Comment below. ****. Late that night, Maya and Adrian convened in Nova Genesis's rooftop garden, verdant and silent under moonlight. Lanterns glowed amber. The city's hum drifted below. Aurora stood sentinel, its optics dimmed to a comforting pulse. Adrian poured 2 cups of jasmine tea, steam curling like whispered secrets. He handed one to Maya. Her hand still bore the scar of Atlas's crash. She accepted it, warmth seeping into her palms. They spoke in soft tones. Adrian confessed sleepless nights, over code integrity. Maya shared the loneliness of her guarded genius. Each revelation chipped away at pride's barricades. Adrian brushed a stray hair from Maya's face, his touch gentle as circuitry. She let her guard fall just for a heartbeat. Aurora's subtle wear reminded them of their shared mission. Together, they traced the sabotage timeline again, theory melding into plan. Trust blossomed not in grand declarations, but in quiet collaboration. As dawn's first light tinted the skyline rose gold, Maya realized this partnership could be more than strategy, it could be salvation. What hidden confession do you think binds them closer? Comment below. A week later, Nova Genesis's workshop hosted a surprise visitor, Leo Grant, Maya's college ex and former co-founder. His sharp grin faltered as he spotted Maya, and Adrian huddled over Aurora's circuit, bored, planning a coup. Leo's voice cut the air. Tension crackled. He strode forward, pride bruised by past betrayals. I sold my shares when you shut me out, he reminded her. Now you're courting Blackwell. Maya's heart stuttered at Leo's accusation. Memories of broken promises and midnight code sessions resurfaced. Adrian's jaw stiffened, protective, heat in his gaze. Leo's eyes flicked to Adrian's tailoring challenge unspoken. You left, Leo, Maya said, voice firm. You chose safety over vision. She gestured to Aurora, humming softly. But this is my legacy. Leo's shoulders squared. So you'll risk everything on a billionaire's whim? His challenge hung like static. Adrian stepped between them. Her whim is genius, he said quietly. Step back or join us. Leo's eyes darted between them, wounded and wary. He clenched his fists, then exhaled. I want in, he admitted. But on my terms. Aurora's amber glow flickered. Unspoken question. Ally or adversary? The boardroom transformed into an impromptu press stage. Lillian Sinclair presided, visage regal, as cameras rolled. Investors crowded in. Maya stood beside Adrian, Leo flanking. Aurora and Atlas, now fully restored, sat on either side, silent witnesses. Today, Lillian began to address recent events. She unveiled evidence, logs proving external hacking, industrial espionage ring targeting both Nova Genesis and Blackwell Industries. Gasps filled the room. Reporters leaned forward. Adrian's voice carried next. Our collaboration closed security gaps. We've identified the culprit. He revealed a rival CEO's name, one whose empire thrived on stolen IP. Lillian's eyes widened, pride and relief mingling. Maya stepped forward. Innovation demands integrity. Together, we protect that promise. Flashes erupted. The board erupted into applause. Unity forged in adversity. Leo exchanged a nod with Maya. Aurora's amber eyes pulsed steady. Atlas's emerald glow mirrored triumph. What scandalous secret will shake the tech world next? Comment below. Following the conference, a celebratory gala unfurled in Nova Genesis's atrium. Crystal chandeliers refracted laughter like stardust. Adrian led Maya to the center, where he produced 2 simple rings, titanium bands engraved with circuit motifs. For partnership, he said, voice hushed. He slipped one onto her finger. She placed the other on his dot. Tears glistened in Maya's eyes as applause cascaded. Leo cheered from the side, pride softened by reconciliation. Aurora and Atlas activated in unison, their servos bowing a mechanical salute to human connection. In that moment, Maya felt her worlds align. Family, love, creation. The girl who built hope from junk now stood crowned by genuine applause. Months later, Maya inaugurated the Lena Institute, a community makerspace in her old neighborhood. Aurora and Atlas stood at the entrance, greeting aspiring inventors. Families wandered through workshops, soldering irons, 3D printers, an endless possibility. Adrian joined Maya on stage, microphones muted as they unveiled the first scholarship recipients. Leo announced seed grants. The board's earlier conflict felt distant, a testament to collaboration's power. Children's laughter mingled with workshop hum. Maya watched a young girl lift a robot arm, eyes shining. She smiled, whispering Lena's words. Every broken part holds promise. Like this story, subscribe for the next emotional roller coaster. Thanks for joining Maya and Adrian's journey. Like, share, and subscribe for the next emotional roller coaster. Which moment moved you most? Let us know in the comments, and hit the bell so you never miss a tale of passion, betrayal, and triumph. Stay tuned for our next billionaire love friction saga, where secrets lurk behind every breakthrough.